समस्त लोक सुखिनो भवन्तु।
समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु।
समस्त लोक सुखिनो भवन्तु।
समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु।
समस्त लोक सुखिनो भवन्तु।
समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु।
शांति शांति शांति।
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
नमामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती दीनामवित्रयवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम्। ॐ नमो भगवते रुद्राय ॐ नमस्ते रुद्रमन्यवमुतोर्दैशवे नमः नमस्ते अस्तु धन्वने बाहुभ्यामुदते नमः या तैषु शिवतमा शिवं बभूवते तनुः शिवा शरव्याया तव तया नो रुद्रमृडया या ते रुद्रशिवा तनूरघोरा पापकाशिनी तया नस्तनुभाषन्तमया गिरिशं ताभिजागशीः यामिषुं गिरिशन्तहस्ते विभक्ष्यस्तवे शिवां गिरित्रतां कुरु माहि पुंसि पुरुषं जगत् शिवेन वचसा वागिरिशाच्चावदामसि यदा नः सर्वमिज्जगदयक्ष्मगुं सुमना असत् अद्य वोचदति भक्ता प्रथमो नैव्योऽभिषत् अहीतुश्च सर्वान् जम्बयन् सर्वाश्च यातु नान्यः असौ यस्ताम्रो अरुण उत बभ्रुः सुमङ्गलः ये चेमागुं रुद्रा अवितो दिक्षु श्रुताः सहस्रशो वैशाखुं हेडयीमहे असौ योपसर्पति नीलग्रीवो विलोहितः उतैनं गोपा अदृशन्नदृशन्नुदहार्यः उतैनं विश्वा भूतानि स दृष्टो मृडयादिनः नमो अस्तु नीलग्रीवाय सहस्राक्षाय मीडुषे अतो ये अस्य सत्त्वानोऽहं तेभ्यो करन्नमः प्रमुञ्चदन्वनस्त्वमुभयोराग्नियोज्या याश्च ते हस्तैषवः पराता भगवो वपा अवतत्यदनुस्त्वगुं सहस्रांशशतेषु ते निशीर्य शल्यानां शिवो नः सुमना भवा विज्यं दनुःखपर्दिनो विशल्यो मानवागुम्भुता अनेशन्नस्येषव आमुरस्य निशङ्गतिः या ते हेतिर्मीदुष्टमहस्ते बभूवते गनुः तयास्मान् विश्वतस्त्वमयक्ष्मया परिभुजा नमस्ते अस्त्वायुधायानादकाय कृष्णवे उवाभ्यामुदते नमो बाहुभ्यां तव धन्वने परिते धन्वनो हेतिरस्मान् वृणक्तु विश्वतः अतो य इषुधिस्तवारे अस्मन्निदेहितम् नमस्ते अस्तु भगवन् विश्वेश्वराय महादेवाय त्र्यम्बकाय त्रिपुरान्तकाय त्रिकाग्निकालाय कालाग्निरुद्राय नीलकण्ठाय मृत्युञ्जयाय सर्वान्तर्याम्यव्ययाय सर्वेश्वराय सदाशिवाय श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। 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 शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
ॐ। हे गौरी नंदन गजानना हे गौरी नंदन गजानना गजानना पार्वती नंदन शुभानना पार्वती नंदन शुभानना
करो शिव गंगाधारी। दया करो शिव गंगाधारी। कृपा करो शिव हे त्रिपुरारी। कृपा करो शिव हे त्रिपुरारी। दया करो शिव गंगाधारी। नाम मधुर शुभ मंगलदायी। मधुर शुभ मंगलकारी। नाम मधुर शुभ मंगलदायी। मधुर शुभ मंगलकारी। अलग निरंजन त्रिशूलधारी। अलग निरंजन त्रिशूलधारी। दया करो कृपा करो रक्षा करो भोला भंडारी। कृपा करो रक्षा करो भोला भंडारी। दया करो कृपा करो रक्षा करो भोला भंडारी। करो कृपा करो रक्षा करो भोला भंडारी। दया करो शिव गंगाधारी। दया करो कृपा करो शिव हे त्रिपुरारी। दया करो शिव गंगाधारी। नाम मधुर शुभ मंगलदायी। नाम मधुर शुभ मंगलकारी। अलग निरंजन त्रिशूलधारी। अलग निरंजन त्रिशूलधारी। दया करो कृपा करो रक्षा करो भोला भंडारी। दया करो कृपा करो रक्षा करो भोला भंडारी। दया करो कृपा करो रक्षा करो भोला भंडारी। कृपा करो रक्षा करो भोला भंडारी। दया करो शिव गंगाधारी। अल्लाह साई मौला साई। अल्लाह साई साई करुणा सागर यीशु साई करुणा सागर सर्वधर्म प्रिय सत्य साई सर्वधर्म प्रिय सत्य साई सर्वधर्म प्रिय सत्य साई अल्लाह साई मौला साई कान्हा कन्हैया बंसी अधरिया वृंदावन घन रास रचैया कान्हा कन्हैया बंसी अधरिया वृंदावन घन रास रचैया कान्हा कन्हैया बंसी अधरिया वृंदावन घन रास रचैया गोकुल नंदन हे चित्त मोहन गोकुलनंदन हे चित्त मोहन राधा मनोहर श्यामा राधा मनोहर श्यामा मानस चोरा नंद किशोरा मानस मानस चोरा नंद किशोरा परति विहारा साई गोपाला साई गोपाला परति विहारा साई गोपाला साई गोपाला कान्हा कन्हैया बंसी अधरिया वृंदावन घन रास रचैया कान्हा कन्हैया बंसी अधरिया वृंदावन घन रास रचैया गोकुल नंदन हे चित्त मोहन हे चित्त मोहन राधा मनोहर श्यामा राधा साई गोपाला वर्ती विहारा साई गोपाला कान्हा कन्हैया बंसी अधरिया वृंदावन घन रास रचैया। राम 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 जय कोदंड रामा राम 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 जय कोदंड रामा राम 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 जय कल्याण रामा राम राम जय राम 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 जय कल्याण रामा राम राम जय कल्याण राम 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 जय वैदेही रामा राम राम जय वैदेही रामा राम 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 जय वैदेही रामा राम राम जय वैदेही रामा राम 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 जय पट्टाभिरामा राम राम जय पट्टाभिरामा राम 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 जय पट्टाभिरामा राम राम जय पट्टाभिरामा राम 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 जय आत्माभिरामा राम राम जय आत्माभिरामा राम 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 जय आत्माभिरामा राम राम जय आत्माभिरामा राम 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 जय प्रभु साई रामा राम 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 जय प्रभु साई राम 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 जय प्रभु साई रामा राम 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 जय प्रभु साई राम 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 जय कोदंड रामा राम 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 जय राम 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 जय कल्याण रामा राम राम जय कल्याण राम 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 जय वैदेही रामा राम जय वैदेही राम 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 जय पट्टाभिरामा राम राम जय पट्टाभिरामा राम 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 जय आत्माभिरामा राम राम जय आत्माभिरामा राम 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 जय प्रभु साई रामा राम 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 जय प्रभु साई राम 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 जय प्रभु साई रामा राम 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 जय प्रभु साई राम 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 जय कोदंड रामा। जननी जननी सत्य साई शुभ जननी 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 जगत्तारिणी परिपूरिणी साईश्वरी जननी साईश्वरी जननी जगत्कारिणी परिपूरणी साईश्वरी जननी सत्यस्वरूपिणी जननी सत्यस्वरूपिणी जननी सत्यस्वरूपिणी जननी सत्यस्वरूपिणी जननी धर्म संवर्धिनी जननी धर्म संवर्धिनी जननी धर्म संवर्धिनी जननी धर्म संवर्धिनी जननी शांत स्वरूपिणी जननी शांत स्वरूपिणी जननी शांत स्वरूपिणी जननी शांत स्वरूपिणी जननी प्रेम प्रदायिनी जननी प्रेम प्रदायिनी जननी साई प्रेम प्रदायिनी जननी साई प्रेम प्रदायिनी जननी 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 सत्य साई शुभ जननी 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 सत्य साई शुभ जननी जगत्कारिणी परिपूरणी साईश्वरी जननी जगत्कारिणी परिपूरणी साईश्वरी जननी सत्यस्वरूपिणी जननी सत्यस्वरूपिणी जननी धर्म संवर्धिनी जननी धर्म संवर्धिनी जननी शांत स्वरूपिणी जननी शांत स्वरूपिणी जननी प्रेम प्रदायिनी जननी प्रेम प्रदायिनी जननी साई प्रेम प्रदायिनी जननी साई प्रेम प्रदायिनी जननी जननी सत्य साई शुभ जननी राधे श्याम पांडुरंग विठ्ठले रखुमाई 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 पांडुरंग पुरंदर विठ्ठले रखुमाई पांडुरंग पुरंदर विठ्ठले रखुमाई पांडुरंग पुरंदर विठ्ठले रखुमाई पांडुरंग पुरंदर विठ्ठले रखुमाई राधे श्याम पांडुरंग 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 विठ्ठले रखुमाई पांडुरंग पुरंदर विठ्ठले रखुमाई पांडुरंग पुरंदर विठ्ठले रखुमाई पांडुरंग पुरंदर विठ्ठले रखुमाई पांडुरंग पुरंदर विठ्ठले रखुमाई राधे श्याम पांडुरंग विठ्ठले रखुमाई राधे श्याम पांडुरंग विठ्ठले रखुमाई पांडुरंग पुरंदर विठ्ठले रखुमाई पांडुरंग पुरंदर विठ्ठले रखुमाई राधे श्याम पांडुरंग विठ्ठले रखुमाई राधे श्याम पांडुरंग विठ्ठले रखुमाई राधे श्याम पांडुरंग विठ्ठले रखुमाई राधे
ईश्वराम्बा प्रियनन्दना ईश्वराम्बा प्रियनन्दना साई जय जगवन्दना साई जय जगवन्दना ईश्वराम्बा प्रियनन्दना रत्नाकर कुलभूषणा रत्नाकर कुलभूषणा राजीवनयना नारायणा राजीवनयना नारायणा नारायण हरि नारायण नारायण हरि नारायण नारायण साई नारायण साई ईश्वराम्बा प्रियनन्दना साई जय जगवन्दना साई जय जगवन्दना ईश्वराम्बा प्रियनन्दना रत्नाकर कुलभूषणा राजीवनयना नारायण नारायण हरि नारायण नारायण साई नारायण नारायण साई नारायण नारायण हरि नारायण नारायण हरि नारायण नारायण हरि नारायण नारायण साई नारायण नारायण साई ईश्वराम्बा प्रियनन्दना हेन्दुशेखरा राजा शिवराजा शङ्करा हेन्दुशेखरा राजा शिवराजा शङ्करा हेन्दुशेखरा शम्भो शिवराजा शङ्करा हेन्दुशेखरा शम्भो शिवराजा शङ्करा हे हर हर शिव शिव पिनाक वैभव शिवराजा शंकरा
कमल नयना नारायणा
यदुनंदन हे घनश्याम श्री राम 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 यदुनंदन हे घनश्याम श्री राम यदुनंदन हे घनश्याम।
मन मेरो लागना तेरे बिना रे, अखियाँ तेरे दर्शन की प्यासी। मन मेरो लागना तेरे बिना रे, मन मेरो लागना तेरे बिना रे, अखियाँ तेरे दर्शन की प्यासी, अखियाँ तेरे दर्शन की प्यासी। जीवन ज्योत जलाओ साई मेरे, जीवन ज्योत जलाओ साई मेरे, मन मेरो लागना तेरे बिना रे। तेरी छवि अति सुंदर केश ये है घुंघराले निराले, तेरी छवि अति सुंदर केश ये है घुंघराले निराले, नयन कमल अति मोहक मादक रंजित ये अधरारे। इस छवि को हम मन में धर कर तेरे गुण को गाए, तेरे गुण को गाए। मन मेरो लागना तेरे बिना रे, तेरे बिना जग माया का ये बंधन टूट न पाए, तेरे बिना जग माया का ये बंधन टूट न पाए। जीवन नैया पग पग डोले, तू ही पार लगा ले, तेरी शरण में लेके प्रभु तू कृपा रश्मि बरसा दे, कृपा रश्मि बरसा दे। मन मेरो लागना तेरे बिना रे, अखियाँ तेरे दर्शन की प्यासी, अखियाँ तेरे दर्शन की प्यासी, अखियाँ तेरे दर्शन की प्यासी।
offering our most loving pranams at the divine lotus feet of our ever-present Swami and invoking his presence and his benediction this beautiful Sunday afternoon. To all my brothers and sisters and most revered elders seated here, our loving Sairam to one and all. We call this particular session as Samarpan. Whether we call it Samarpan, Sharanagati or Atmanivedanam, it all stands for surrender or an offering. And all of us have assembled over here to probably celebrate the greatest offering of all. And that is the offering of God coming down in human form for the sake of mankind. And probably that is the greatest Samarpan for all of us. His every moment he offered to us. Every drop of blood in his body he offered to us. What greater Samarpan can be there? And it is as a response to that call that we all have assembled over here to celebrate this Samarpan of our thoughts, our words, and our deeds at his lotus feet for all that he has done for us.
It is said that as many types of people there are those many ways to reach God. And what is so beautiful is that as many types of people are there, God reaches to those people in those many different ways. And for all of us, Swami at different points of time in our lives has had a different, unique relationship with us. At some times he has been the loving mother. He has been the strict father. He has been a very good friend. And of course, he has been the guru. And above all, he is God for all of us. So what we intend to do today is share with all of you some of those memories that we have, those memories which we cherish, where Swami at different points of time in our lives has played those many roles. And by that we just hope that while you listen to us, you're able to turn back the pages and go back to those moments, recall those memories which we all have with him, where he has played those roles for all of us assembled here.
And when we think of this particular song, Akhiyan Tere Daras Ki Pyasi, it is this particular video that we just saw, we missed that form. In fact, we missed that form because it came down for us. It became a part of our life, and today, in a sense, we missed that form and we also have the form. And it is those recollections that we thought that we will have with you so that you can actually go back and think of all those moments that you have had.
So to start with, let's take Swami as the Divine Mother. We have seniors who have had the privilege of being woken up by Swami himself when they were just a handful of students in the Brindavan during the 1960s. Swami would come and wake them up in the morning for them to chant Suprabhatam. Can there be anything more loving than that? Where he is awake before you and he wakes you up and tells you to chant Suprabhatam for what? Which is supposed to wake him up. And we have had the honor of listening to some of our esteemed elder brothers. One of them recalled this incident where I believe you would have seen Swami come out to the veranda and speak to the primary school students, right, on so many occasions. They would be the sweet nothings which Swami would apparently talk to them. But on this one occasion, Swami came and called one student and said, "What was for lunch today?" And that student replied saying, "Swami, it was brinjal curry." And brinjal curry, it must be confessed, and so many of my brothers are already smiling when I say brinjal curry, because it is not one of those desired dishes as part of the hostel's schedule. So Swami said, "Oh, brinjal curry." And a few days later, Swami happened to ask again. And coincidentally, when Swami asked, brinjal curry was served on that day as well. And Swami said again. And a couple of days later, again he asks, just when brinjal curry has been served in hostel. And this time Swami pulled up the hostel cook and said, "What is this? Why are you serving brinjal curry over and again? Is there no other vegetable that you're finding? Anytime I'm asking, boys are saying it's brinjal curry." Needless to say, because Swami pulled up the cook, for the next month or so, boys did not have to have brinjal curry on their plates. That is the love of a mother, is it not? Come down to those kind of details. And there was no limit to the details that he would look into. In fact, when we saw this video of Swami at Ooty, I also have heard that in Ooty, Swami would, they used to be the school at Ooty, and in the night after the students have slept, it seems Swami would take a walk around the dormitory and see if all the students were covered well under the blankets. And he would put the blanket over the student, and the student would probably not even know that Swami has come for that walk in the night. We have the privilege of having Ravi sir with us today, who was there in Ooty, who has had some of those wonderful moments with Swami. And sir, if you could share some of your memories.
Yes, indeed. Ooty, the school was called Nandanavanam, and it was literally that. It was where Lord Sai Krishna would come, and then we were all like little Gopalas and Gopikas, and that was literally Swami's playground there. And he was also that loving mother. As Siddhartha was mentioning, once we were tucked into bed, Ooty was very cold. Swami would come around and then see if we were well covered, and he would cover us with our blankets. Then he would come to the dining hall and make sure that the rasam rice that we used to get was hot. He would come and say, "You know, little kids, is the rasam rice hot?" Then you would call the warden and say, "No, this is cold. Get hot rasam rice for these kids." These are the little things that Swami used to do in Ooty. And I remember we had a playground where we would go and play as tiny tots. And when Swami was eventually leaving Ooty, it was with a very heavy heart for all of us. Obviously for Swami also, because, leaving these little children behind, Swami would, look a little sad. And then we used to feel very sad, but then Swami used to tell us, "Go and play." So we would go to the playground, and then there was this long winding road which would go down from the Ooty school. And then as he would go down, we would go to the edge of the playground, and like parents would do to their children, from the car window he would wave to all of us, as he was going down that road. And then we would all wave back to Swami from here, So it was that mother-child relationship so beautiful in that hill station in Ooty.
And then how was the transition like when you made it to Prasanthi Nilayam?
Yes, in fact, it was a rough transition for us, because we were the first batch that left the Ooty school, because after we finished our 5th standard, we were suddenly told there is no 6th standard in Ooty. So as kids, obviously, we didn't know what was happening, but our parents were very worried, because especially where I came from, there was no good schooling. So my father thought he had put me in a very good school for life. So they went back and prayed to Swami in Prasanthi Nilayam, and Swami said, "Come to Puttaparthi, I will start 6th standard in the Ishwaramma High School there." There was only Telugu medium in those days. This is 1981. But Swami started in English medium. But the only thing is, as tiny tots, we were put along with the senior boys in the senior boys hostel. So until our 5th standard, we were very well taken care of. Suddenly in the 6th standard, we were like left to fend for ourselves, sort of, in the hostel. So our elder brothers, who were our room leaders, they would take care of us as much as they could. But then in Ooty, we had ayahs taking care of our personal needs, and we didn't have anybody. So many of us looked dirty, many of us looked ragged, many of us felt sicker than we were. As a child, I used to suffer from asthma, and this asthma became much worse. In those days, we used to have lots of these Parthenium plants in Puttaparthi, and that would aggravate the asthma. So I was a very sick child in my 6th standard. So I was already missing the homeliness of Ooty, and I was missing my parents. And once you're homesick, all these things compound. And I had a severe bout of asthma, and I could not go to school. So I was lying on my bed in my pajamas, not able to get up because of severe asthma. And one morning around 10 o'clock, one of the elder brothers comes. He wakes me up and says, "Come down, the warden is calling you." I wheeze to him and say, I cannot, I am sick, I cannot get. He said, no, warden is calling you right now. I said, please tell him to come up and see me. I am not even able to go down for my food. Then he said, Swami has come down. He is calling you. I said, wow, no wheeze, nothing. So I got up instantly. I rushed down. And there is this guest room as soon as you enter the senior boys hostel. And I was ushered in there, and the warden was standing. He said, go inside, Swami is calling you. And Swami was sitting there, and with a loving smile, he called me. He said, what happened? I said, Swami, asthma, I have wheezing. He said, yeah, Papam, come, take Pad Namaskar. He gave me Pad Namaskar. He materialized Vibhuti. He said, eat it right now. So I put the entire Vibhuti in my mouth. And then he patted me, made me sit there. He was talking sweet nothings with me. And he made me so comfortable there. I had no problem of asthma. I have lost my asthma ever since then. And right then, I had lost the feeling of homesickness, the feeling that I was missing my home, the feeling that I was missing somebody taking care of me. All this was lost in that instant. So that was this loving mother who had come all the way from the Mandir right to where I stayed and took care to see that this little child was not homesick. Because as you would have seen in that video, that darshan ground, the first day that I was left there in Ooty, he made a promise to my Deha Mata that don't worry, go home, I will take care of your child. So he was my mother and he is my mother. So that is how.
And I guess he is each one of our mothers, isn't it? I remember in our primary school, we used to get some amazing prasadam every Thursday and Sunday. And in fact, even more than the darshan of Bhagwan, we used to wait for the prasadam that we were going to get from his hands. And I remember one morning, it was a hot morning and it was time for ice cream. That day's morning prasadam was ice cream. And out were coming hundreds and hundreds of these little ice cream packets, and Swami was distributing to all of us. And we were busy munching away, and if we wanted a second one, Swami was giving. But how Bhagwan is, he doesn't miss even a single opportunity to convey what he actually wants to tell us. And even as we were munching away, and Swami was watching us, and you know how Swami would, when students are eating, how he would look, he'll say, tinnu, inka tinnu. And then he just made this comment, he said, God is like ice cream. God is like pure white ice cream. God is sweet like ice cream. God is cool like ice cream. And that is why he is called Joy Ice Cream. The name of the ice cream was Joy Ice Cream. He didn't even miss a single opportunity to convey the most ultimate lessons. And today, you know what? I may not know the definition of God, but I definitely I remember this definition of God. And I think it's one of the most beautiful definitions of God. He's sweet like ice cream. He's cool like ice cream. He's pure like ice cream. And that is why he's Joy Ice Cream. That is the most beautiful definition of God. Swami had given it to us that one morning. What can we say about this mother? Here is another very beautiful song. It's in Tamil, but I'm sure it will resonate with each one of us, because it is about that mother who has given us this life, who has given us this form, this body, and who has given us this beautiful relationship. It is said in this song that a single drop of a tear from her eyes can fill up all the oceans, because that is the weight of a mother's tear. It is also said that because the Supreme Almighty couldn't be with all of us all the time, He gave us our mother. And guess what? In our case, the Supreme Lord Himself has become our most beloved mother. And this is a beautiful song in praise of that mother.
உடலும் உறவும் தாயே உயிரும் நீயே உடலும் நீயே உறவும் நீயே தாயே உடலில் சுமந்து உயிரை பகுது உருவம் தர தன் உடலில் சுமந்து உயிரை பகிர்ந்து உருவம் தருவாய் நீயே. உன் கண்ணில் வழியும் ஒரு துளி போதும் கடலும் முழுகும் தாயே. உன் கண்ணில் வழியும் ஒரு துளி போதும் கடலும் முழுகும் தாயே. உன் காலடி மட்டும் தருவாய் தாயே. ஸ்வர்கம் என்பது பொய்யே. உயிரும் நீயே, உடலும் நீயே, உறவும் நீயே தாயே. உன்னை படைத்தாய் மண்ணை படைத்தாய், காற்றும் மழையும் ஒளியும் படைத்தாய். படைத்தாய் மண்ணை படைத்தாய், காற்றும் ஒளியும் மழையும் படைத்தாய். பூமிக்கு அதனால் நிம்மதியில்லை, பூமிக்கு அதனால் நிம்மதியில்லை. சாமி தவித்தான், சாமி தவித்தான், தாயை படைத்தான். உயிரும் நீயே, உடலும் நீயே, உறவும் நீயே தாயே. உன் உடலில் சுமந்து உயிரை பகிர்ந்து உருவம் தருவாய் நீயே. உன் கண்ணில் வழியும் ஒரு துளி போதும் கடலும் முழுகும் தாயே. உன் காலடி மட்டும் தருவாய் தாயே. ஸ்வர்கம் என்பது பொய்யே. உயிரும் நீயே, உடலும் நீயே, உறவும் நீயே தாயே. I also remember on one occasion, it was also this loving mother, but it was also this moment where we have brought tears to her eyes. And I remember this particular incident. I was in my primary school, and in fact the higher secondary school, and that year the undergraduate boys, the third year undergraduate boys, had not performed too well in the exams. And Swami had just been informed about the dismal performance of the students in the end semester exams. And I remember Swami walked out of the interview room, and he just, leaning against one of these pillars like this in Prasanthi Nilayam, he just leaning against that, he said, "You know how much pain you have caused that one mother, who has sent you with so much expectation to Swami's college, that my son will do well because he is with Bhagwan. Today you have let her down. When you are not able to respect one mother's love," Swami said, "what will you understand 1,000 mothers' love?" Let us always endeavor to keep that 1,000 mothers happy. Because if she is happy, the entire universe is happy, the entire world is happy.
As it's truly said, that a mother is a child's first friend. So that is where we move to. We have Swami, the loving mother, with us, the loving 1,000 mothers rolled into one with us. And this same mother is also our friend, is it not?
Since you said friend, if if I may just interject here. I recall this very fond memory of mine when we had finished our MBA, and as is the practice, the outgoing boys put up what is called as the gratitude program in front of Bhagwan when they finish school or when they finish undergraduation or post-graduation. And when we were finishing our MBA, we had put up a gratitude program. And gratitude program is the day when every student is given an absolute blank check. You can choose what you want to do on that day. If you want to speak for a couple of minutes expressing your gratitude, you can. You could take something, you could make a card or you could make something for Bhagwan. And everybody would get a chance to have a direct interaction with Bhagwan on that day. Swami would bless every single student who's passing out that day. And in our batch, we thought, we had seen those wonderful videos of yesteryears where Swami in Kodaikanal used to go on a picnic with the students, and the students used to play passing the parcel. And the one who gets out, Swami would pick a chit from a bowl and hand it over to that student. And invariably, the student would get to do a task which he's not comfortable with. And Swami would have a great time watching a person who does not know Telugu stammer and speak a few words in Telugu. He would make somebody sing. Somebody who cannot sing will get a chit that he has to sing. So we have seen these videos and we thought, why not we play passing the parcel in front of Bhagwan in Mandir? And we had decided what would be the sequence of events. And if I were to get out, my task was already prepared. I would be asked 4 questions on Bhagwan's life. Like, there were 4 questions that were asked, like the famous Rishendra Muni incident of Swami making up for a dancer who did not come for the performance. So one of the questions that was to be asked to me was about this Bala Bhaskara medicine for which Swami wrote a jingle. Swami wrote a song which he would teach his friends who would go around singing about that Kote Subbanna's medicine which was sold in that village. So I was to be asked, do you know the song? What is that song? Can you sing it for us? So we usually prepare for, and I thought it would be nice if we could ask Swami for the lyrics. So I came up with that wild idea saying, why not we go and ask Swami for the lyrics? So then my classmates said, what if Swami does not respond? What is the backup plan? Better you learn the song. In case you see that Swami is not looking like he's going to respond, then you have to cover up with something else. So you better learn the song. But in my heart, I just couldn't accept that I had to learn the song and then pretend like I don't know it when I know it. So I said, yes, I learn, and I did not learn it on that day. So we're doing the program. First question I was asked, the second question I was asked. This was the third question. And so the host who's asking me the questions, he said, do you know the song? I said, yes, I can try. And I knew the first 2 lines of the song. And then obviously I blanked out. I do not know what else to say after that. So then he said, he knew that the plan was to ask Swami. So he said, so you have a lifeline. Would you like to ask someone? I said, yes, I want to ask my friend. And he said, oh, your friend knows? I said, yes, my friend definitely knows. He said, okay, who's your friend? So I said, my friend is Bhagwan Shri Sathya Sai Baba. And when I pointed out to Swami, when I looked at Swami, he had such a big beaming smile and he was so happy that he was going to be asked to help. And he couldn't wait for me to go up to him. He said, come, I'll tell you. And I went up and Swami taught me the next 2 lines right there. And he told me, this is the next 2 lines, go and tell. So I came back down and I narrated the next 2 lines. I sang the next 2 lines and Swami said, yes, that's the right. So I thought probably one of the accomplishments of my life is I could declare to Swami in front of everyone that he is the only friend. And really, though it might have seemed orchestrated, really on that day, at that moment, I really needed him to bail me out. Because I just did not know, and it was only Swami and me who knew that I did not know. Because everybody else thought I had a backup plan in place.
Friend in need is
friend in need is totally a friend indeed.
Absolutely, and I think he's the lifelines of all our lives, isn't it? If there's one lifeline that we can always fall back upon, it is that lifeline. And in fact, that lifeline has also been a part of my little life. And when you said lifeline, yours was a case of a dumb charades program or a quiz program. Mine was an actual incident, and let me tell you, I was in my 7th class and I had got very close to one of my friends. Again, friends in everything in quotes. And we were known to be extremely close and, chummiest of friends. And obviously, when you attach yourself to the world, it is bound to, hold on to you. You're going to get caught in that bondage, and that's what had happened. I committed a blunder of my life, and that happened during the unit tests that we had. I actually cheated. I helped him cheat. Okay, in the unit test, I helped him with the answer for a particular question. It was a maths paper. And when this happened, one of my classmates actually saw me helping this brother of mine in the test, and she promptly went and told the class teacher that such and such a thing has happened. Now the class teacher was not a maths teacher; she was an English teacher. But it so happened that the maths teacher was sitting next to the English teacher during correction, and she was saying, "Look at this funny case of this brother, this friend of mine, who has got all the steps wrong but has got the answer right." Okay. Obviously, because the answer has been provided to him. And that's when my class teacher figured out that yes, this is the guy who has been helped, and Amey has helped him. And so both of us were hauled up. And you can imagine in Swami school, such a thing happening. We were given the pasting of our life. Okay, and literally there are no nooses or there are no crucifixions happening in primary school, but we were just short of that. If those of you who have seen primary school, you have a large, big lobby. As soon as you enter, we were made to stand in the lobby and we were paraded as criminals, to the rest of the schools. And of course, it was a pretty big crime. And, several things were contemplated. And you can imagine both of us, standing in front of everybody over there. We were literally, our stock prices had fallen to an all-time low. And my sister was studying along with me in the school. She was immediately informed. She promptly informed my parents. Okay, so you can imagine, and it so happened that finally a decision was that these boys, need to be taught a good lesson. We have to break this friendship, and it was decided that one of us will be put into another section so that we will not be in the same section. And that's when the final nail in my so-called coffin, I can say, was when my own classmate said, "We don't want Amey because the other friend of mine was a good goalkeeper." So when it came to class matches, we wanted a good goalkeeper. They wanted a good goalkeeper. And so they said, "We don't want Amey. The other section is saying, "We don't want Amey. We want, the other brother." And so here I was, absolutely lost, completely lost. I remember this was a Monday. On Wednesday evening, one of my classmates misbehaved for some reason. Thursday morning, we went for darshan. Swami comes out for darshan. After finishing the interviews, he would generally spend some time with primary school students. He walks up to this boy who had misbehaved on Wednesday night, and Swami blasts him. Okay, Swami just starts saying, how horribly he has behaved, how he has let down his parents, how he has let down Swami, why Swami, with what great expectations the parents had sent the children to study in Swami school, and how he had let down. And Swami says, "I want you to be good boys, like that boy." And he's pointing at me. and Swami looks at me and says, "Come, boy, get up, come here." And I remember I stood next to Swami, and Swami put his hand on my shoulder, just like my best friend would. Okay, and he said, "Be like this boy, very good boy." And I saw that the faces of my teachers, and I saw my stock price going way up. And that day, I still remember all the prasadam distribution was given to me. Swami, told me to get everything because he wanted to show how good I am. And so much so that the teachers finally asked me to seek for forgiveness for that other brother. So I went and told Swami, I said, "Swami, please forgive that boy." Even for that, I got praise. "See this boy, how much is he?" And that day when I walked back, I was a hero. Did I change? How different was I? I was the same. It was only that one was standing next to the zero, and that is why I became a hero that day. And I knew that there was only one good friend in my life that I could always fall back upon, and needless to say, I have really never got close to anybody since then, because there's only one person worth getting close to, and that is our beloved Lord. And this is another very beautiful song which had been composed for the friend. Here we are talking about Swami as the friend. It's called "O Nestama, O my dear friend." It's a beautiful song in Telugu. We will tell you the meaning as the song goes.
ప్రియమైన బంధమా ప్రేమ కురూపమా మా అందరి ప్రాణమా ఓ నేస్తమా గడిచే
My dearest friend Sai, let every grain in the sands of time, our thoughts, words and deeds be filled with you. I am yours and you are mine.
గడిచే ప్రతి క్షణం నీతోనే గడపాలని మేము వినే పదాలన్నీ నీ మాటలే కావాలని గడిచే ప్రతి క్షణం నీతోనే గడపాలని మేము వినే పదాలన్నీ నీ మాటలే కావాలని మాలోని తలపులన్నీ నీకు వివరించాలని క్రియలన్నీ కర్తకే అంకితం చెయ్యాలని వేచియున్నాము ఆ రోజుకే ఓ నేస్తమా ప్రియమైన బంధమా ప్రేమ కురూపమా మా అందరి ప్రాణమా ఓ నేస్తమా
Let your tune play in our lives. May our hearts overflow with the nectarine love that flows. Let this conversation never end.
జీవన వేణువులో మోహన రాగం పలికించి ప్రతి మనసులో నీ ప్రేమ సుధలో పొంగించి జీవన వేణువులో మోహన రాగం పలికించి ప్రతి మనసులో నీ ప్రేమ సుధలో పొంగించి ఆనందముతో దివి భువి పులకించగా ఆనందముతో దివి భువి పులకించగా మాటలాడవా మాటలాడవా ఓ నేస్తమా ప్రియమైన బంధమా ప్రేమ కురూపమా మా అందరి ప్రాణమా ఓ నేస్తమా
So when you start counting on this friend, when you start banking on this friend, slowly this friend starts teaching you many things. And when he starts teaching you, this friend becomes your guru. His proximity is the classroom. His presence is the lesson, where every word, every seemingly innocent act, everything has a meaning. So that is why it is said living with God is true education, because there is nothing that he doesn't lose a single opportunity to teach you something. Like Amey was saying, it could be something as immaculate as giving you ice cream, but he would not miss that moment to drive home a lesson that would go with you for life. So when we look at all our moments with Swami, each of us have been able to connect to Swami through something. It could be Vedam for someone, it could be dance for someone else, it could be drama for someone. But for the three of us, a common rope that he has held us together with is music through bhajans. So what are these life lessons that we have learned from Swami as bhajan boys, or during the time that we have interacted with him as bhajan boys? These are some of the life lessons that this guru has taught us. And that is what we want to share in this segment.
I remember a time I was just into my undergraduate, and I had this great blessing to sit right under Swami's throne for the bhajans. So, Swami sitting on the majestic throne with the tiger head, his feet there, and I was there right below that tiger head. And that is where I would sit every day. That was my place for bhajan. So I was in a very comfortable position in all senses of the term. I was very comfortable. So one day, Swami called my parents and I for an interview. So when I went into the interview room, Swami asked my parents, "How is Ravi?" So my parents, as they always do, they said, "Swami, he is your child." So meaning whatever he is yours. We have nothing to do with him. So he said, "Swami, he is your child, so he has to be a good boy," that kind of a thing. So he said, "Swami, he is your child. So is he good?" They said, "Yes, Swami, he is a good child." Swami said, "No, he is not." And then, my stock price fell, but that was a local thing happening in the interview room. So then I was wondering why I was not a good child. And Swami said, he sits there right below me for bhajans, but during bhajans, he never looks at me. He is more intent on playing the khanjira. So every bhajan session you tend to learn some new beats, and then can you just imagine, I cannot imagine right now that Swami was sitting there, but then you're a student, and this is what happens when you're a student many times. You're lost without the guidance of the guru. And he said, no, he's more intent on playing the khanjira. So I then realized that I used to look down, probably at the most look into the tiger, and not look at Swami, and I would be playing the khanjira. Swami said he's more intent on playing the khanjira, and he does not look at me during bhajans. Oh my God, I felt at that moment, my God, what a huge mistake I have made. I caught hold of Swami's feet and I said, "No, Swami, I'll always look at you." But this is the lesson that he has taught. Basically, it means it's not just physically looking at him. It means that my focus is not on Swami. Whenever we do anything, a bhajan is an act of prayer to Swami. So when we pray to Swami, we must have our focus on Swami rather than the implements that we use while praying for Swami. While doing puja, if you're intent on the spoon or on the water or on the jug, that is not prayer. So that is what he meant. Looking at him is focusing on him. So it's not important that we are near to him. I was sitting as near as anybody could to Swami, but that is not important. I was not dear to him. So Swami taught me that lesson that you have to be near and dear. And in such a beautiful way he taught me, saying that no, he is intent on playing the khanjira, which meant no, not the implements. Concentrate on me, on Swami. That was the lesson I learned then. Yeah?
Beautiful lesson, brother. I too had a lesson regarding bhajans. It was in my second year post-graduation, and we were very few of us as bhajan singers, and we would get chances every day to sing in front of Swami. And so I call it the ultimate pump machine. When you sit over there, and pss, 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 the ego is growing, the collar is going up, because we are second PG, second year post-graduation. We can almost do whatever we want in Bhagwan's presence, sing whatever we want. And so one day I was slotted for the 7th bhajan, and after the 6th bhajan, Swami took Arati. typically we would have 6, 7, 8 bhajans, every evening. Any bhajan, it could be after which Swami could take Arati. Typically Swami would sit for 7 bhajans. That day I was singing the 7th. After the 6th bhajan, Swami took Arati. The next day I was singing the 6th bhajan, and after the 5th bhajan, Swami took Arati. The following day I was singing the 4th bhajan, the 5th bhajan, and after the 4th bhajan, Swami took Arati. And now immediately when such a thing happens, the alarm bells start ringing, and we have a bhajan convener of ours, a very elderly sir, who has terrific, powerful antennas. Okay, and he will be catching all these signals. I'm sure many of our brothers know whom I'm talking about. And so even as I figured out that, oh my God, something is happening over here, okay, that this is happening way too often and it's not such a good thing to happen. I tried to kind of, I knew something was wrong, so I immediately after Arati, and every day I was singing Arati, immediately after Arati I'm running away, and sir, no, come here. So he told, what's happening, you think about it. Okay, so I told, no sir, nothing, Swami just was busy, and so that day it went. The following day I was singing the first bhajan. I was slotted to sing Ganesh bhajan. The bhajans were outside, is where we currently do bhajans, not in the bhajan hall in Prasanthi. And as I was slotted for the first bhajan, in my mind I was thinking, Swami, aaj kidhar jaoge aap? Aaj kahan bhaag ke jaoge? Ganesh bhajan ga raha hu main. Okay, you can't go. And if you don't have bhajans, it's not my problem. Means if you don't have bhajans at all, it's not my problem again, because you were busy. That blame cannot come on me. So I was, kind of today, definitely that ice is going to break and things like that. Slotted for the first bhajan, and Swami calls 4 speakers that day to speak, in front of him. And none of those 4 speakers had actually prepared for a talk. Okay, so they just came, rattled out something, but Swami was extremely happy. And I'm looking at the time, and it's been an hour, and I'm thinking, oh my God, what's going to happen? But anyway, it's not my problem.
Mangalarti, one more day. You thought.
One more day of Mangalarti, but it was not to be. Can you believe what happens that day? 4 speeches get over, and Swami looks at the primary school children and tell, "Ee roj nu padandi. You sing bhajans today." And we had half an hour of primary school children singing bhajans that day. Okay, and you can imagine, I can still remember that day, it was a golden day for them, because they never get to sing, and they were like, Raza Vilola, they were all in full josh that day. And I am crestfallen over here, wondering what had hit me that day. Sorry, with due respect to primary school children. We think we are great singers, that's what. And needless to say, after the bhajans, our bhajan convener walked up to me and said, take a break. Take a break, contemplate, introspect, see what's happening. And as much as it is funny now, you can imagine what would have gone when you are simply stopped to sing. You have been asked to stop singing bhajans. Why? Because God himself does not like your singing, because there's something wrong with you. And for the next 40 days, every day I would sit at the back of the bhajan group, and every single day after that Swami had bhajans. And every single day I would lose my chance, and day after day, week after week, bhajans are going, Swami is enjoying bhajans, but I am not singing. And every day I would go back after bhajans, and I would go to the music room, take harmonium, and I would sing and practice. And I was wondering, when is this going to end? Because those 40 days were like endless days. And at the end of the 40th day, means one day sir just called me and said, okay, today you sing the 3rd bhajan. And it was Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. That bhajan I was slotted to sing, 3rd. And again, once again, Swami was sitting outside. And that day, Swami calls 6 speakers to speak. Okay? 6 speakers. Each spoke for 10, 15 minutes, 1.5 hours, 1 hour, 15 minutes over. And so I was thinking that mostly today also there won't be bhajans. Because, it's already 1.5 hours over, and Swami has sat for a very long time. And as the 6th speaker finishes, Swami looks at the bhajan group and say, let us have 2 bhajans. Okay, mine is the 3rd slot. Okay, and in my mind I'm thinking, what is your problem? Okay, why can't you just raise one more finger of yours? You very, very well know that I am slotted at 3. Okay, and as the first 2 bhajans were going on, I am broadcasting prayers at high bandwidth. Okay, I am taking all the bandwidth possible of Kulvantal and I am just pushing my prayers through, saying, please, Swami, don't do this. I am finished. My career is over. You know, my bhajan career, again, it was mine, you know. And, you know, as those prayers are happening, Swami, you tell that you only sing, no? You only sing through us. Then why are you doing this? You know, and as these prayers were strengthening within, okay, and I was kind of figuring that, no, this is the end of it, and, you know, I'm nothing, Swami. In those days, you know, Swami would reach out and hold that brass handle, which would and that was the signal for the Arati to be taken. And as the second bhajan gets over, Swami's hand goes out to, you know, hold the brass railing. My heart sinks. The person, a pujari, is about to light the, you know, the Arati, and as he's getting up, Swami says, one more bhajan we will have. And I remember that day, Swami stood for my entire bhajan. Again, for the entire bhajan, Swami stood. And that day, from the depths of my heart, I said, Allahu Akbar, oh Allah, you are great. You know, here was Allah standing in front of me, and he stood for the entire bhajan. Mind you, those were the days when Swami had a lot of pain in his hip. He stood for the entire bhajan, and after the bhajan, he just looked at me, looked at the pujari and said, now let us have Arati. You know, and I still remember after that, lots of brothers came and told me, oh, Amey brother, terrific, yeah, Swami stood for your entire bhajan. Only I knew what Swami had done for me that day. He had stood for the entire bhajan, undertaking so much pain on his physical form, only to know, have you now at least learnt the lesson that I wanted to teach you? That if you have ego, you know, he says, if you have ego, he goes. Okay, you have ego, you can never, that bhajan will just not reach. Anything that we do, if we have that feeling that I am doing it, whether it's Narayan Seva, whether it is bhajans, whether it is Balvikas, whether it may be anything, the moment it says, Swami, I am dedicating this to you, it's over. Even that feeling that I am dedicating, no, Swami, you, it's only you, it's only by your power. As it is said, no, mukam karoti vachalam, pangum langayate girim. Swami said, ulta also can happen. Vachalam karoti mukam also can happen. If he can make a dumb person speak, he can also make a talkative person dumb. And that's what he had done to me for 40 days. And no wonder that lesson has, you know, driven deep into my heart.
Just as you say that, how he can make even a dumb person speak, he can, you know, he can as well take away speech from somebody who's a very talkative person. And Amey's lesson as to how Swami grounded him, how Swami brought him back. He deflated him. As much as he was getting inflated, he deflated him in that period of 45 days. I remember this other story. This happened to an elder brother of ours who was also a bhajan singer. And he was seated in the front row when Swami was giving his discourse. And after the discourse, Swami started singing a bhajan. And as Swami is singing the bhajan, Swami is looking at this brother and indicating to ask him, what is the next line? Seemingly, Swami has forgotten the next line of the bhajan. So he immediately caught that and he mouthed the next line to Swami. Swami caught it. Swami continued the bhajan. He finished the bhajan, looked at this brother, smiled, gave him a beautiful smile saying, thanks for bailing me out. It ended. On the next festival day, again Swami is giving a discourse. Again after the discourse, Swami is singing. And again he indicates to this brother, that day's bhajan also Swami has forgotten. And this brother was a little more alert this time. And he helped Swami. Again, the same thing happened. He gave him a big smile, blessed him, and sat. The next festival day came. This brother was very sure, I'm going to be needed 2 times. I'm on a hat trick. Swami is going to need my help today. And on that day, also Swami forgot. Right? And he was ready. He was sitting with his, ready. I know the next line. Which line do you want me to help you? And he helped Swami that day.
No, and I remember this brother telling when he was narrating that, he was so puffed up at that moment because the entire world goes to God for help, but God comes to me for help. That was the feeling he was getting.
So a couple of days later, Swami comes to the bhajan hall before bhajans, and Swami looks at this brother and asks him, what are you singing today? And he says, Swami, I'm singing Madhusudana He Muralidhara. Shesha Shailavasa. I'm singing Shesha Shailavasa. How does that bhajan go? Sing a few lines. He's not able to recall. He's forgotten. He's saying, Swami, I don't remember. Okay, what did you sing yesterday? Swami, yesterday I sang, he named the bhajan. He said, Swami, yesterday I sang that bhajan. Okay, sing it. He's not able to recall. Hey, Swami, I don't remember. Swami says, okay, sing some bhajan. Some bhajan, you must know some bhajan. He's blank. Clean slate. He's not able to remember anything. And then Swami told him, you think I have forgotten? If I forget, the whole world will come to a standstill. And he says that was the biggest serving of humble pie that he ate on that day. He says he was so humbled by that one moment. And he's like it happened to Amey. He said, I realized what a big mistake I made by thinking that I know something that even God might forget. So exactly like Amey said, he can make us mute the moment that hood of ego raises itself.
And that is the beautiful Guru that he is. That even he can take upon himself this act of forgetting to teach us a lesson. There's this very beautiful padyam, shall request Ravi Bhaiya to sing. It exactly encapsulates this particular sentiment of how this worldly education, this outside Bahya education can be given to us by our parents, but the ultimate Atmic knowledge can be given to us only by Guru. And guess what? We have found the Vishwa Guru with us. I'll request.
బహువిధములైన లౌకిక పథములో మనకు చూపెదరయ్యా తల్లి తండ్రి ఆత్మవిద్యను గరుప గురువుకే సాధ్యము మనకు దొరికెనయ్యా విశ్వగురువు విశ్వగురువు
Let us rejoice that presence of that Vishwa Guru in our lives. And how Swami would teach these simple lessons, I remember on one more beautiful lesson which is connected to how we should do bhajans and how important these bhajans are for Swami and should be for us. One of our brothers, he had to go to Anantapur to actually get braces fitted on his teeth. And he was a bhajan singer, and he wanted to inform Swami that he is not going to be in Prasanthi Nilayam the next day because he had to go to Anantapur to get his braces fixed. So he got an opportunity. He told Swami, tomorrow I won't be there for bhajans. Swami asked him, why? He said, Swami, I have to go to Anantapur to get my braces fixed. Swami said, okay, so you will not be able to make it in time for bhajans? So he told, no, Swami, I won't be able to make it. Then Swami said simply to him, so what? At 5:15, which was the time bhajan started, wherever you are, you start singing, I will be there with you. Right? I felt, this was such a beautiful message that Swami has given, in fact, to all of us, isn't it? Can we give that one time during the day for Swami? Absolutely. Wherever we are. We may be in the metro, we may be in the local train, we may be in our buses, we may be in the car, we may be in our offices. Every day, that one particular time, absolutely non-negotiable. Swami, this moment is for you, because at that moment, then we can commune with Swami. Right? There's no place that we don't have to come to Dharmakshetra, we don't have to come to Prasanthi Nilayam. Wherever we are, the moment we think of him, that becomes Prasanthi Nilayam. Isn't it? So this was a beautiful life lesson that Swami had taught, that wherever you are at that particular time you think of me, I will be with you.
Because timeliness and punctuality is another thing that was so dear to Swami's heart. We know that, anywhere in Prasanthi Nilayam, if you see 9 o'clock morning, bhajan will start, yes, it will start. 5 o'clock or 5:15, whenever Swami would change. If the time is set, it is set. So for Swami, though he is Kala Titaya, but for him, Kala is such an important thing. So, even if he were standing in the bhajan hall and generally chatting with the boys, and then he would keep looking at the clock to see if it has become 5 o'clock in those days in the bhajan hall. The moment it strikes 5, he'll say, start. And then he being Swami, he can choose to change the time, he can choose to do anything he wants. He would stand there, by chance he's chatting with us, And then he looks up at the clock, and the second hand has gone 5 seconds beyond 5 o'clock. Oh, he would do that as if he's made a big mistake. Then he'll say, start. This is another lesson for us that, being on time is very, very important.
In fact, it's a very, very important part of our spiritual sadhana. Swami says, in Dhyana Vahini also Swami says, once you have fixed one particular time for your daily, your commune with Swami, you have to stick to that particular time, come what may.
There's another thing I remember. This was when I was in my school. There was this very senior devotee. He was not a student, but he would sit along with us and sing bhajans in the bhajan hall. And then he was a wonderful singer. And Swami would enjoy his bhajans. But one day this very strange incident happened. Swami came and sat before the bhajans. He came and sat on the throne. And he spoke to this gentleman who was in our midst. He asked him, out of the blue, how is your mother? So he said, Swami, she's okay. Then Swami looked at him sternly and said, how is your mother? Then, his confidence became a little lesser. He whispered, saying, she's okay, Swami. Then Swami pointed and said, hey, tell me truthfully, how is your mother? And he said, Swami, she is not well. Then Swami, he was telling this person, but obviously it is a lesson for all of us. Swami said, this person's mother, somewhere in interior Maharashtra, she is alone, she is unwell. He is the son. He thinks that leaving his sick mother there and coming here and singing for me will please me. No, it will not please me. He said, your place is next to your mother. So that is your duty first. Take care of your parents, take care of your mother who is then only I'll be pleased. It is not that for the sake of attending bhajan we can forgo our primary duty. So this is how Swami stresses Matra Devo Bhava, Pitta Devo Bhava. That is our primary duty. And so beautifully, as if it is a lesson for one person, but it is a lesson for all of us. And so that one fine day I can also share it with everybody who is gathered, that this is what Swami says. Not that leaving everything and I will come close my eyes and sing bhajan for Swami, he will be extremely happy with me. No. We'll attend to our primary duties first, like taking care of our parents. Then comes that is a true prayer, actually. Then comes our other forms of prayer. So this is the other lesson this Guru has taught.
And therefore this beautiful song, which is again a beautiful dhun, I think, from Gurbani that
yes.
we would.
In fact, many of us might have gone to the Golden Temple premises in Amritsar. So it is so peaceful just listening to the Gurbani, the strains of the songs of the Guru. They literally tug at the strings of our heart. The Guru, who is our God, who is our everything, who is our wisdom. So to this Guru, we pay our obeisance through this song.
एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पूरक निर्पौर निर्भय अकार मूरत अजूनी सैभंग गुरु प्रसाद जप आज सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच। गुरु मेरी पूजा गुरु गोविंद, गुरु मेरी पूजा गुरु गोविंद, गुरु मेरा पार ब्रह्म गुरु भगवंत, गुरु मेरा पार ब्रह्म गुरु भगवंत, गुरु मेरी पूजा गुरु गोविंद, गुरु मेरा पार ब्रह्म गुरु भगवंत, गुरु मेरी पूजा, गुरु मेरा देव अलख
अलख अभेव
सर्व पूज शरण गुरु सेव
सर्व पूज शरण गुरु सेवा गुरु मेरी पूजा गुरु गोविंद गुरु मेरा पार ब्रह्म गुरु भगवंत गुरु मेरी पूजा
गुरु का दर्शन देख देख जीवा
गुरु का दर्शन देख देख जीवा
गुरु के चरण तोए तोए पीवा
गुरु मेरा ज्ञान गुरु हृदय ज्ञान
गुरु मेरा ज्ञान गुरु हृदय ध्यान गुरु गोपाल पुरख भगवान गुरु गोपाल
पुरख भगवान गुरु मेरी पूजा गुरु गोविंद गुरु मेरा पार ब्रह्म गुरु भगवंत गुरु मेरी पूजा
If we say that Swami is our guru and we are his students, who is exactly a Sai student? Swami had once told that just by studying in the Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning, you don't become a Sai student. You have to study Sri Sathya Sai, then you become a Sai student. And in fact, in that sense, each one of us have the opportunity to be a Sai student. We may not be all SSS IHL students, but we all have the opportunity to be SSS students. And in that sense, all of us are Sai students. And obviously, when you are Bhagwan student, everything is not rosy. There are those moments when Swami will test you to know whether, just like, we in our college, we have something called continuous internal evaluation. CIE we call it. Just like that, Bhagwan also is continuously internally evaluating us. Are we ready for that next, for the next grade, for the next class? It so happened, and when Swami does that, those moments are very painful. And at that moment, you really wonder, why are you doing this? What joy do you get out of testing me? And I remember one of these brothers, Swami would speak to him very often and lots. And all of a sudden, he went into this particular zone when Swami just stopped talking to him. And it has happened to almost all of us. And in fact, the greatest lessons is when this particular thing happens, when Swami just stops talking to us. And this boy, month after month passed by, Swami wouldn't even look at him, Swami wouldn't take his letter. And so he wrote a particular letter to Swami. And in that he mentioned this, word. He said, Swami, why are you torturing me? Why are you torturing me by doing this? And that day Swami came and picked this letter from his hand. And in fact, he was very happy that at least Swami took this letter. And Swami opens the letter and then looks at this guy and says, this brother, and says, don't use words the meaning of which you don't know. Okay? And so this boy was kind of, first of all, he didn't know whether to be happy because Swami was talking to him after so long. But then what is this Swami saying? Swami saying, don't use words the meaning of which you don't understand. What did you say? Don't torture me. Do you know the meaning of torture? Okay, so you know what? He had just written the word. He really didn't know the dictionary meaning of the word torture. He was wondering, that's what you have been doing to me, torture. And then Swami said, torture is when one person is hurting the other person and that person who is hurting is enjoying it. That is called torture. Do you think that when I don't talk to you, you think that I'm enjoying that process? Do you know how much pain I go through to teach you this lesson? How can you use a word like torture? Do you think I go through such a beautiful lesson that Swami is giving at that moment, right? That when he is actually teaching us those lessons, Swami says, right, he's like a drill master. He knows exactly the pain of what we are going through because he's doing it and only then he's teaching us. So, this is how the Guru actually teaches us.
Amey, since you use the word lesson and evaluation and test, I want to narrate at this point. I've had a bad history of being very weak at academics. And I've just barely managed to pass the education system's obstacles towards in the growth that I've had through life. And it so happened that, of course, I joined Swami's Institute for my MBA, and I had my bachelor's in English literature. So when I joined for my MBA, the guys to my left and right were BCom students. So when we had papers like financial accounting, management accounting, quantitative methods, I have not even seen a ledger book in my life. And I'm supposed to be understanding everything. And obviously the students who were with me, my classmates, had a good amount of knowledge, or they came from engineering background. Again, they had a lot of math. And my last math exam was my 10th class math, which I just managed to pass. So this was the background with which I joined for my MBA, highly ambitious to want to do an MBA. But I was very clear as to why I wanted to do my MBA. That was just to sing bhajans in front of Bhagwan and to be with Swami for that period. So in my first semester, I failed my quantitative techniques paper. And I wrote the exam again and I cleared it. In the second semester, that is, we took our second semester exams and we joined back after the vacation for our second year. This is in 2007, June. And the results came for the second semester, the April exams. It came in the end of June on one day. And it so happened that we were in class. Siddharth should remember. We were sitting in class and it was between the second and the third hour that we got news that the results have come for the previous semester. And again, I'm somebody who has always run away from seeing my results. I would prefer somebody else coming and telling me whatever the result is, but I couldn't go through there and find my number and look for my marks. So one of my classmates was going and I told him, just look up my marks as well and come and tell me, I'll just sit in class. So he came back and he came and told me, obviously I could make out from his face that all is not well. He said, you have failed. I said, okay, which paper? He said, quantitative techniques 2. I said, 1 only I didn't pass. How would I expect to pass quantitative techniques 2 in the first attempt? He said, yeah, I didn't understand a lot of it, okay. I said, something else? He said, yeah, you failed management accounting. 1 more maths paper, number related paper I have to write a supplementary for. I said, oh gosh, okay. He said, you failed 1 more. I said, there's no other math paper in MBA. What else did I fail? He said, you failed HR, human resources. I was totally taken aback because I knew for my language at least I should have been passed. And I definitely did not do that paper so badly that I would fail in it. I might not have got a good grade, but definitely I should have passed. I said, HR. He said, yeah, you failed in HR. Oh gosh, okay. And then somebody came and told me, as per the rules, if you have failed more than 2 papers, you have to repeat that semester. Which means I have to discontinue in June, join back as a first year in November, and do that semester again. This was a disappointment or a failure way beyond what I have experienced before. I have failed before, no problem, but to repeat a semester is a little, out of the league. So the third hour got over. I was walking down the staircase and I reached the lobby of the campus and the warden walked up. And the warden in his typical style, what is this? You have failed. I said, sir, I don't know, sir. Math papers, I'm not too good at it. Okay, when are you vacating hostel? He said. Sir, that gum which they used to put up the results, no, it's still wet. It's not even dried. 1 hour only it's been, and you're already asking me to vacate the hostel. He said, yeah, you are not a student now. You have to discontinue, no? So if you are not a current student, you can't stay in hostel unless Swami says something. I said, sir, I'm going to apply for re-evaluation. That's the only thing I could think of. If one of the papers in re-evaluation, if something comes through, I can continue. I'll just have to write 2 papers. So he said, okay, fine. You go ahead, apply for re-evaluation, but be ready. Be ready to pack your bags and leave. So unexpectedly, my mother lands up in Puttaparthi the next day. And obviously, I wanted to keep the news away from my family till re-evaluation happened. At least till re-evaluation results come. And it is that mother's instinct, something made her feel that something's not right. She boarded her bus from Chennai and she just landed up the next morning. And I was having extreme acidity. So I was taken to GH for a checkup because I was physically looking very unwell because of all this tension that was building up inside. You're going to discontinue. What will my parents say? What will everybody say? How do I tell this to Swami and all of that? So I was taken to GH. The doctor administered saline for me, and she instantly said, this is not normal level of acidity. What is up? I said, no. I was trying to keep, all my dramatics was coming to the front. I was keeping a straight face and nothing, doctor, I don't know. And then my mother sensed something is up. Then I thought that was the most opportune moment to tell her, lying in hospital bed, drips being administered. So I thought, okay, this setting is fine to break the news. So then I broke the news to her. And she was obviously very upset. And then she said, then the doctor discharged me. I was to go to darshan that evening. So my mother wrote a letter and she said, if you get a chance, give this letter to Swami. So I took my mother's letter. I went to Bhajan Hall. I sat in Bhajan Hall. And on that day, as my luck would save me, Swami came very early. He came into the Bhajan Hall, and even as he was sitting down, I was somewhere in the third or fourth row, and he looked at me and said, come. So I went up to him and I gave my mother's letter. And I was very clear, I don't want to physically tell him that I have failed. You already know I have failed. I am talking to the omnipresent Swami, not the Chancellor Swami. So you continue the conversation on that plane, not on this plane. I am not going to tell you from my mouth, Swami, I have failed. So he took the letter, he opened the letter, he started reading out my mother's letter to me. And then he pointed to me and he said, see what your mother has written here. So I turned around and I went closer to Swami and I read the letter. She had written in bold letters, Swami, you know what is best. So I said, Swami, yes, Swami, I also believe that, Swami, you know what is best. What are you going to do? He said. I said, Swami, they have told me to go now and come back in November. Again, I'm just assuming that he knows why I'm going and coming back. I'm going back and coming back in November, Swami. Good. You go and come back. So I said, Swami, please be with me. He said, yes, I will be with you. You go. So on that note, I came back, I packed my bags, I vacated hostel and made the warden very happy. And I went back to Chennai knowing that something big has definitely happened. I'm missing a whole year. I will not be graduating in 2 years. But that one line that he said, I know what is best for you, was something that I was very firmly holding on to. I had absolute faith in that. I was very sure that he is doing it for a larger good. But even as you go back with that confidence, I was met with an overwhelming reception at Chennai. My family was very upset. My father was extremely upset. My brother was also a student of SSSIHL, and he had also done his MBA. So for him, it became a question of shame, because he said, how will I go back to Parthi and see my teachers? They will all ask me, what is this, your brother is a failure. How will I go meet my friends in Parthi? And you won't believe it, for the 6 months that I was in Chennai from July to November, my brother didn't speak a word to me at home. We wouldn't even sit in the same room. If I walked in, he would walk out. And it was very upsetting because, I failed at something that I'm not good at. And Swami said it is for my good. So why am I being treated in that way? But the only thing, obviously my family had to tell our relatives, because suddenly you've come back, you're staying at home, you don't have anything to do. Just sit at home. What can you do? So the only thing I could do was I went for coaching for management accounting and quantitative methods in the hope that I can go back a little well prepared more than that. But then it was excruciating pain to stay at home. But where else can you stay? Where else will you go? And the only thing I could hold on to was Swami's words to me saying, I know what is best for you. I know what is good for you. And that he would be with me. But for that, I don't think I could have survived those 6 months.
हो चांदनी जब तक रात देता है हर कोई साथ, तुम मगर अंधेरों में ना छोड़ना मेरा हाथ। जब कोई बात बिगड़ जाए, जब कोई मुश्किल पड़ जाए, तुम देना साथ मेरा वो हमनवा। न कोई है न कोई था जिंदगी में तुम्हारे सिवा, तुम देना साथ मेरा वो हमनवा। जब तक रात देता है हर कोई साथ, तुम मगर अंधेरों में ना छोड़ना मेरा हाथ। हो चांदनी जब तक रात देता है हर कोई साथ, तुम मगर अंधेरों में ना छोड़ना मेरा हाथ। जब कोई बात बिगड़ जाए, जब कोई मुश्किल पड़ जाए, तुम देना साथ मेरा वो हमनवा। हम पहले भी मिले कहीं, सिलसिला ये सदियों का, कोई आज की बात नहीं। तुमसे मिलकर हुआ यकीन, हम पहले भी मिले कहीं, सिलसिला ये सदियों का, कोई आज की बात नहीं। जब कोई बात बिगड़ जाए, जब कोई मुश्किल पड़ जाए, तुम देना साथ मेरा वो हमनवा। तुम देना साथ मेरा वो हमनवा। तुम देना साथ मेरा वो हमनवा।
So what happened after that? When did the good thing, when did the good tidings come?
So I joined back in 2007 November for my second semester, and in 2008, at the end of 2008 April, when I ought to have finished my MBA, I have finished my first year after 2 years. So I joined back for my final year in 2008 June, and that was the year where I think I got the most number of chances with Swami with regards to singing bhajans. I got to act in so many dramas in his presence, and the cherry on that sweet, top of that lovely sweet, was in 2009 April. Swami picked me to go with him to Kodaikanal, and interestingly, in 2008 Swami did not go to Kodaikanal. Right? So in my final year, what should have been my final year, if I had finished in 2008, I would not have got the chance to go with him to Kodaikanal. It was because I was a final year in 2009 that I had the opportunity to go with him to Kodaikanal. And in Kodaikanal, something very interesting happened. And with that, I shall conclude. One day, Swami had asked us, a couple of us, to give a speech. And after the speech, we were seated around Swami. And I had, on that day, it was my chance to do Pad Seva for Swami. And Swami was having a conversation with the elders. And suddenly Swami looked at me and he said, hey, nee class lo enta mandi unnaru? How many boys are there in your class? And the only Telugu number I knew was 50, which is 50. So I said, Swami, 50 mandi unnaru. Confidently I replied. And that was the number of MBA students in my batch was 50. And Swami immediately then looked at Professor Venkatraman and he said, Chudu, Venkatraman, ఈడు క్లాస్లో 50 మంది ఉన్నాడు, కానీ నేను వీడు మాత్రమే తీసుకొని వచ్చాను. Meaning, he said, this boy's class, there are 50 students, but he is the only one I have picked and brought with me. So my immediate reaction was to correct Swami, because in my batch, with me, another 8 students had come. We were about 9-10 of us. So I almost corrected him, saying, no Swami, he's final year, we're all from this same class. Then I thought, okay, Swami is saying something, when you're not spoken to, just better to shut up. And I continued to press his feet. And then immediately it hit me that from the 50 students of the batch of 2006, I was the only one sitting there that day. And I thought he was referring to the 50 from the batch of 2007. And he was so right when he said, obviously he was right when he said he's the only one. And when I look back, what is 6 months or 1 year in a lifetime when you get to stay with him under the same roof and spend the whole day with him for 2 weeks? What is 1 year? And even in that failure of my life, even in that moment of so-called failure, I only had benefits in it. You know, the only thing I only gained from that failure. I never lost anything. A failure means a loss. And therefore, he was so right when he told me that day in June, I know what is best for you. Go through this now because something much better is in store for you if you're willing to put yourself through this now. So I really think that is one of those mantras that I have received from Swami. Every moment of our life, if we are able to keep telling ourselves that this is for our good, we will never know it is for our good at that point of time. It is always in hindsight that we realize that things have played out so beautifully. And like they say, you don't know why a painter is using a particular shade or a particular color until the masterpiece is done. At that point, you think that's such an awkward color to use. But look at it in the end. Look at the grand picture at the end. And that is one of the biggest lessons that I have learned with him. I've been so lucky to learn. I lost nothing. And you know, I went back and obviously I could now flout to my brother saying, I went to Kodai, man. Who cares if you fail 3 subjects, 6 subjects? We can't get back that. If only we just keep telling ourselves that it is all that happens is for our good.
I think all of us would love to have such failures in our life. If it can keep us closer to Swami.
Seriously.
But it's so true, Siddharth, that when it is said that when the world walks out, he walks in. No, we have all heard of that lovely story where this person prays to God and says, please walk beside me when I'm in trouble. And then on the sands of time, when he was at his deepest agony, he found only one pair of footprints, and then he told God, you deserted me when I was at my deepest sorrow. And God said, no son, at that time I was carrying you. That set of footprints were mine. So God never deserts us. And yes, your darkest times became your brightest and happiest times.
It still holds good. I mean, it was that Kodai trip which changed my entire life. That is the trip where Swami spoke to me and told me to do what I'm doing today. None of that would have happened had I finished in 2008. So my life changed with that failure. And like I said, I lost absolutely nothing. I only gained, and I continue to gain. Till this moment, I only continue to gain from that experience of the so-called worldly failure.
And when brother said that when the world walks out, he walks in, I'm quickly reminded of something that happened in Delhi when Swami visited Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee's house. It was in 2009 when Swami had visited Delhi. Atal Bihari Vajpayee wasn't able to come to the international center or to have Swami's darshan, but such a beautiful, wonderful devotee that he was, Swami went to his house to visit him. And it was only a beautiful, intimate moment where only he and Swami were together. And as Swami came out, and he also came out to bid farewell to Swami, Swami just looked at him and said, देखो वाजपेयी, जब तुम प्राइम मिनिस्टर था, तुम्हारे इधर उधर सब IAS ऑफिसर, आर्मी, मिनिस्टर, सब लोग था. अभी कोई नहीं है, लेकिन मैं आया तुमको मिलने के लिए. Swami made it clear to him that even when nobody will be there with you, I will be there with you. I will come to see you. You know, that's the one beautiful thing with when you said, when the world walks out, I walk in. And I think that's what we all want, isn't it? There's one more very beautiful, I mean, there are innumerable lessons that we can learn from Swami's life. That's why he says, my life is my message. Just a very quick one, I remembered one of our brothers had told us, Swami was returning back from Kodaikanal. It was the hot summer month of May. Swami was returning back from Kodaikanal by car. It was Salem, you know, probably one of the hottest places in South India. And as Swami's car was going, Swami heard strains of bhajans going on. Here were a set of devotees who were sitting by the roadside, okay, and doing bhajans because they knew that Swami's car was going to go that way. It was 50 degrees, you can imagine, and Swami said, stop the car. Okay, and they stopped the car, and Swami, got down from the car, barefoot. Swami was standing on that hot tar road, okay, listening to these bhajans. And the brother who was telling us was telling that the police, who were standing next to Swami in his security, they were barely able to, stand on that hot. They were kind of jumping in spite of wearing socks. And here was Swami standing barefoot, beautifully enjoying the entire bhajan.
In fact, this brother offered Swami, a pair of footwear, and Swami said, no, keep the footwear in. And he stood barefoot on the road.
And now, we may all think that Swami is God, he can do this. But this brother told us when Swami came back and sat in his car, Swami had blisters on his foot for the next 4 days. He takes upon himself, but he says, this is nothing compared to the love that I have got over there. These are the beautiful moments, these are beautiful lessons that this Sadguru teaches us.
There are, like Amey was saying, there are so many, snippets of these lessons. Every time he would speak to the boys, there was some lesson in it for all of us. How many things has he taught us, this Sadguru, right from small little things. As Siddhartha started, he would come and inquire about idlis to the primary school children. How many idlis did you have? Ask the higher secondary school students, brinjal curry. This is what he starts with.
And we have heard from our hostel teachers that earlier on Swami used to visit the hostel when boys were away in the college, and he would go to the kitchen and he would taste the rasam to see if it was palatable. And he would physically go and verify if the toilets were clean. And the sir who narrated this to us, he said, I would pray to Swami saying, Swami, please don't come. He said, no, I want to see. Only if I go, I will know whether you're doing a good job or not. Which avatar would have done something as trivial as this?
He has even taught, some of our brothers were saying, when the first cardiac symposium happened in Prasanthi Nilayam, Swami, nobody had any idea. There were top-notch doctors coming from all over the world. The first time Prasanthi Nilayam was hosting somebody from outside, Swami would go to every room where the doctor was going to stay, and he actually taught housekeeping to all the brothers. He saw whether the bed sheets were put properly, whether there were towels in the bathroom, whether there was soap, there were shaving kits, everything. He said, our brothers were telling us, we learnt housekeeping from Bhagwan himself.
And those of us who have been involved with the dramas, the convocation dramas and the sports meet dramas, Swami's attention for detail a single character's makeup he would be able to catch. He would tell if he had enough makeup or if he had too much makeup. He would go down to that level of detail with the boys who used to do dramas.
He has cared for all of us. When we were sick, he would care. Like I said, personally he would care for us. Or if any of our family members were sick, anybody in our family, we could just get up and go to Swami and say, Swami this, and then he would comfort us. One vibhuti packet here, one word, one pat. That comfort that he would give.
And from ranging from all such, small things to the very fact that all of us seated over here, so many students, almost 15,000 students have got education absolutely free of cost, the top-notch education. He has given us everything in life. No wonder he's called the chancellor of our university, because he always gave us chances. We call him because he was a chancellor, because he gave us lots of chances, because this chancellor was not of this university. This chancellor is of the entire universe. And what can we do to him? This is a beautiful song which captures this particular sentiment of Swami, how much you have done for us.
तुमने क्या क्या किया है हमारे लिए तुमने, क्या क्या किया है हमारे लिए। हम न कर पाए कुछ भी तुम्हारे लिए, तुमने क्या क्या किया है हमारे लिए। हम न कर पाए कुछ भी तुम्हारे लिए, तुमने क्या क्या किया है हमारे लिए। कितने एहसान किए तुमने खुदा ऐ सनम, 100 जन्म तुमको देते तो वो भी है कम। कितने एहसान किए तुमने खुदा ऐ सनम, 100 जन्म तुमको दे तो वो भी है कम। तुमने पतझड़ को सावन के धारे दिए, तुमने अश्कों के बदले सितारे दिए। तुमने क्या क्या किया है हमारे लिए। तुमको मालूम था ना बह जाएंगे ये थपेड़े, न तूफान के सह पाएंगे। तुमको मालूम था ना बह जाएंगे ये थपेड़े, न तूफान के सह पाएंगे। फिर भी बाहों के तुमने सहारे दिए, तुमने डूबे हुओं को किनारे दिए। तुमने क्या क्या किया है हमारे लिए। हम न कर पाए कुछ भी तुम्हारे लिए, तुमने क्या क्या किया है हमारे लिए। तुमने क्या क्या किया है हमारे लिए।
Even while we say हम ना कर पाए कुछ तेरे लिए, now there are these beautiful examples of such devotees who have done so much for Bhagwan, and those little acts that actually we don't have to do so much for Swami, we just have to do whatever we are doing with all our heart, and he is there to take that. Just reminded of yet another beautiful experience that one of our brothers very close to Swami, he narrated to us. He had the opportunity to serve Bhagwan. He would stand when Swami was staying in Purnachandra. He would be with Swami in Purnachandra, and he would stand outside the door when Swami would walk back after the evening darshan, morning and evening darshan, as he would walk back. And often it would happen, Swami would have taken so many letters that both his hands will be full of letters. And so he would look at Swami, and Swami would simply signal him to come close, to take letters. And such was Swami's, once again his etiquette. Even letters which he wanted to give, he would always give with right hand. He will never give even that with left hand. So this was known to this particular brother. One day he noticed, one evening when Swami was walking back after the evening darshan, the morning darshan, he noticed Swami was holding a bag in his hand, in his right hand, and letters in his left hand. So he was quite intrigued, what is this bag that Swami is holding? And Swami called him. So he immediately ran, and he thought Swami will give him the bag, whatever is in his right hand. So Swami gave him all the letters with his left hand. So he was even more intrigued. This is something Swami never does. That means something is there in that bag. I have to find out what is there. That's how we all are, right? We want to know behind the scenes what's happening. So Swami took that bag very promptly with him to his room. And so, this curiosity was growing inside. In the afternoon, Swami came down. This bag was in Swami's hand. And Swami said, come, all of you sit down. So there were 3 of them. They all sat around Swami. And out of the bag came groundnuts. Groundnuts with peels. And one by one, Swami is opening up the peel and giving, eat this. And it so happened that what ensued for the next 15-20 minutes was a little picnic session over there, where each one was peeling and giving to the other, And so much so that those peels were even falling on Swami's robe. And so this brother was trying to clean up, and Swami saying, no, leave that, let it be. We'll do it at the end, let's enjoy. And even as this was happening, this brother was wondering, my God, what a blessed devotee it would have been. Swami is eating with so much relish. So he wanted to know, who is this person? Whose groundnut Swami is eating with so much relish. It's almost like, Krishna and Sudama. And so they wanted to ask, but you cannot really ask Swami, who gave you this? And, So at the end of this little picnic session, that this sharing and all that, Swami himself said, do you know who is this person who gives me this? And so now here was, Swami was going to tell, said, long back, there was a lady, who used to come to the Patha Mandiram days. And she came for one of the birthday celebrations and she wanted to do something for Swami. But she didn't know how to cook. She didn't know how to decorate. So she was not able to participate at all in those celebrations. And she felt so sad, Swami, I'm not good at anything. What can I offer you? She simply thought that, Swami, the best I can do is I grow groundnuts. I grow groundnuts in my farm. I will come and offer this to you. And Swami says, from that year, every single year, almost for 40 years, this lady has been giving groundnuts to Swami. Swami picks her out from the darshan lines and takes these. He enjoys. And then Swami said, now whatever groundnuts are remaining, put it in another thing, because I have to give this bag back to her. Because this lady Papam has only one bag in which she brings this every year for me. Such is the devotee. Hum na kar paaye kuch tere liye. We just have to be like this beautiful devotee who had given this Bhagwan this beautiful gift.
Almost reminiscent of Shabari of those days, almost like that. I'm also reminded of another story where every birthday of Swami, the boys' hostel, senior boys' hostel, they bake a cake for Swami, and Swami would cut it on his birthday. So there is this cake department in the hostel. So in 2011, November, the boys in the hostel were pretty distraught, and they said, what are we going to make this cake for? Swami is not going to be there to cut it. All these years he is cut, and physically he is not going to be there to cut the cake. So they were feeling very dejected, and then they said, okay, let's make some cake, not with the usual josh with which they make a lot of decoration and, colorful big cake. They made a cake. Because, okay, it is for Swami, we are going to take it to the Mandir anyway. So they bake a cake, they take it. So one of the boys who was in this cake department, he was also distributing prasadam that day. After the morning session, the bhajans were going on, birthday morning. So the cakes were all kept, lots of cakes, they were kept on the upper portico, and this boy went to distribute prasadam. So that central gate is there in the Kulwant hall, so he went beyond that to distribute the prasadam. So there is the statue of Rama, Lakshmana and Mother Sita there with Hanuman. So there, up to there he went, he saw one lady, a foreigner lady, doing Arati there from that distance. And it was not with an Arati plate. She had a cake in her hand with which she was doing Arati to Swami. So this boy was very intrigued. He waited for her to finish doing the Arati. He gave the prasadam and then he asked, ma'am, can I ask you what is this Arati that you're doing? And what she said was such a beautiful lesson. She said, for the last 15 years, seeing how you boys have been baking such lovely cakes for Swami and getting it cut by him, I was so inspired. I have never had the chance to come and have a cake cut by Swami on the portico, but at least I could offer it to him from here. So for 15 years, she has been baking that cake and offering it to Swami from that far. And it didn't matter to her that it was 2011 November or 2010 November, Swami was physically present, not present. she was still offering it to Swami with that same devotion. And this touched the boy so much that, he went and shared it with all his other brothers in the cake department. He said, this is the kind of devotion that we need. That is so inspiring. This is the kind of devotion we must have for Swami, that what we have had all along, we will continue to have all along, irrespective of where we are.
When Amey was narrating the story of how Swami used to come back from darshan holding so many letters, I remember a story that one of our professors told us. He had the opportunity to walk behind Swami during darshan, and he would be there to assist Swami. If Swami collected letters and wanted to give it to somebody to hold, he would be the person. And he was telling us how on one particular day, so he was walking behind Swami, and Swami had already collected a good bunch of letters from the ladies' side, and on the gents' side, he took a letter from this one gentleman. He took the letter and he took the cover and put it into that pile of letters that he already had, and he walked ahead. And even as Sir was just following Swami, that person, it seems, he caught hold of Sir and said, see, that cover which I just gave, just be careful, because Swami's put it into that pile. It has a DD for 20 lakhs. Just watch out. And Swami heard this. So it seems Swami came back, took that letter, gave it back to that gentleman, and walked ahead. And Sir obviously was a spectator, and he continued to follow Swami. Further ahead on the gents' side, Swami was collecting more letters. He took one more letter, and he turned back to Sir and gave it to him and said, keep this safely. Keep this aside. So Sir took that cover and put it in his pocket. Swami finished his darshan. Swami went into the interview room, and Sir still had this cover. And after a while, Swami opened the door and beckoned him to come inside. So he went inside. Swami sat. Swami said, where is that cover? So he fished it out and he handed it to Swami. Swami tore it open, and what Swami took out, there was a letter and there was a counterfoil kept along with the letter.
A bank challan.
Bank challan. Counterfoil of a bank challan kept along with the letter. And Swami said, see what he has written. That person who offered that cover was the local postman. And he had written saying, Swami, this is my monthly offering to you. And the bank challan was for 10 rupees. And then Swami told Sir, he forgoes his lunch every day to save money, and he gives it in the bank every month, and he will hand over a letter and the challan to me every month. This money is far more important to me than that. Referring to the other gentleman who wanted to make a show out of, he probably didn't want to make a show, but the very fact that he was saying it out to somebody else, what we make to Swami is just between Swami and us. So Swami said, this is far more important to me, more valuable to me. This 10 rupees is far more valuable to me than that money. So just think about the kind of offerings that people make, so humble. Everybody's offering is humble in its own way, but it is just the intent behind it. It's just the feeling with which we offer that matters to Swami and nothing else.
It's almost as if these devotees are teaching us that, if you were to open our hearts, Swami, you will find only you sitting there. And that is where we all have to be. That position where if Swami were to say, who is in your heart? If he were to open our hearts, he would see only him. Let us try and capture the sentiment through this song.
साई हमारे दिल खोल देखो ये मेरा, इसमें न कोई दूजा, बस एक तेरा बसेरा। प्यारे साई हमारे, तुम पास जब भी आते, जरा सा जब मुस्कुराते, मुस्कुराते, अपनी प्यारी प्यारी नजर से साईं रोते दिलों को हंसाते, प्यार भरी नजरों से रोते दिलों को हंसाते, प्यार भरी नजरों से रोते दिलों को हंसाते, मेरे साईं दिल में उमंग और खुशी भर लाते, प्यारे साईं हमारे। जीवन के हर एक पथ पर तेरे ही संग हम चलेंगे, तेरे बिना है जीना मुश्किल हर दम ये कहता है दिल, तेरे बिना है जीना मुश्किल हर दम ये कहता है दिल। जीवन के हर एक पथ पर तेरे ही संग हम चलेंगे, हाथों में धर कर हाथ तेरे ही संग हम चलेंगे, हाथों में धर कर हाथ तेरे ही संग हम चलेंगे, मेरे साईं तेरे बिन जिया जाए न साईं, प्यारे साईं हमारे। दिल की ये सुन लो कहानी, तेरे बिन जिया न जाए, सूनी लगे जिंदगानी, प्यारे साईं हमारे, प्यारे साईं हमारे, प्यारे साईं हमारे।
Even while we contemplate this way, probably one of the greatest or probably the most important moments in our life has been this 24th of April 2011, isn't it? Where we missed that particular form. Somehow I just feel that, only one thing has changed since 24th of April, Swami's address. He has simply moved from Yajur Mandiram into Hridaya Mandiram, because that is where we are trying to tell him that, Dil khol dekho ye mera, and you will find only that. And I think that is what we need to hold on to. That is our true source. That is the destination that we need to go back to. There's this one other beautiful song which captures this particular, this sentiment. Chalo man jaye ghar apne. चलो मन जाए घर अपने, इस परदेस में वो परदेसी
क्यों परदेसी रहे ये चलो मन जाए घर
आँख जो भाए वो कोरा सपना, आँख जो भाए वो कोरा सपना,
सारे पराए हैं
कोई ना अपना, ऐसे झूठे प्रेम में पढ़े ना, भूल में काहे जिए
चलो मन जाए घर अपने।
साचे प्रेम की ज्योत जला के, साचे प्रेम की ज्योत जला के, मन सुन मेरी कान लगा के, मन सुन मेरी कान लगा के, पाप और पुण्य की गठरी उठा के अपनी राह चले, चलो मन जाए घर अपने, चलो मन जाए घर अपने अपने अपने।
And
so many times in his discourses, Swami had said, I am with you, above you, below you, around you, beside you. Well, he definitely meant it and took it more seriously than we did. We wish we had a little more time where we could share some of those lovely experiences where Swami has shown us.
we had some more, but then we saw the time and then we thought, that we should probably wrap it up. There's long distances that you all have to go back to. I'm sure maybe there'll be another occasion that we can probably come here and share.
15 minutes. 15 minutes.
So I'll start.
Sure.
Okay. This is an incident that happened to me last year in the month of February.
I mean, this is what, why we wanted to say this is, nothing has changed. And probably everything has changed, right? We are probably living in those times where nothing has changed and everything has changed. The only thing that has changed probably is we need to go inward, because probably that is the only source which is absolutely permanent. Swami over here, through his physical moving away from us, has probably told us that even this physical form is not capable of giving you the ultimate happiness. For that, you have to go within, because that is my true address. And what we wanted to share with you are some of those moments that have happened after his physical demise, his so-called physical demise, only to show us that, now I'm closer to you, now I'm just a thought away from you.
So, I mean, these were some of the experiences that we wanted to share. I'm sorry, I just thought I'll give a little
Thanks,
introduction to this
You
part.
set the stage very nicely. So, sometime in the month of February last year, I had a dream one morning. And in my dream, Swami comes for darshan. He stands outside the interview room. And Swami says, "Final year boys, get up." And I was in the front. And for some strange reason, I stood up. And I turned back and saw the upper veranda. There were two more boys who stood up, one of whom was actually a third year undergrad final year boy who was studying last year. So I looked at Swami and I said, "Swami, there are only 3 of us." Swami said, "It's okay, come in." So we went in. Swami sat on his sofa and I noticed that those 2 boys were a little hesitant to sit close to Swami. They were seated a little behind. So I took the courage to go and sit next to Swami. I was sitting at his feet. And Swami was talking to us about right conduct. Swami was saying how we should have right conduct. And in that context, Swami was saying, right is right, even if only one person is doing it. Wrong is wrong, even if everybody is doing it. You should be like that Africa boy. So when Swami said Africa boy, the other 2 students who were seated with me didn't know whom Swami was referring to. But in my dream, I happened to know. I don't know how I know, but in my dream, I knew the moment Swami said Africa boy, I knew whom he was referring to. So Swami looked at me, I looked at them, I saw that they had a blank face. So I said, "Brother, Swami is referring to one of our old students, Anmol Mehta." I'm even giving a name in my dream. And Swami is saying, "Ha, that boy." So I turned back, I told Swami, "Swami, can I tell them?" Swami says, "Yes, tell them." So then I am narrating to those 2 students about Anmol Mehta. I have no idea. Now, just a pause. I did have a batchmate by name Anmol Mehta, but I have not even seen him after 2008. I have no idea where he is, what he is doing, nothing. He's the only Anmol Mehta I know. Right? So the name is that is the name that I told Swami, and Swami said, "Yes, tell them about Anmol." So I'm telling them, "Brother, Swami is talking about an old student, Anmol, who studied here. He is in Africa. In his workplace, in his factory, there was a strike. But Anmol felt it is not the right thing to do to participate in that strike. And Anmol refused to participate in that strike. So Swami is saying, you should, even if you're the only one doing it, right is right, even if you're the only one doing it." That is what Swami is referring to. Swami said, "Ha, atla undali. You should be like him." The dream went on. It ended. I woke up and I was pleasantly surprised that where is that guy Anmol and how do I know some details that I'm shooting out to Swami in my dream, and Swami is saying, "Yeah, that is what I'm referring to." So I shared this dream with one of my professors. And he also laughed and he said, "Oh, really? How did you know about this boy?" I said, "I have no idea, but this is what happened in my dream. So strange." That was the end of it. Sometime in the end of March, the college closed for study holidays. So college was not working. And this professor was walking to college that morning at about 9ish. And at the gate, there was a girl and a boy who was standing at the entrance of the college. So as sir approached them, they both wished sir. And that boy said, "Sir, I'm an old student who studied here. I've come to Parthi for the first time with my wife. I want to show her the campus where I studied. Can I show her the campus?" So sir said, "It's a study holiday. There are no students, so it should not be a problem. But you better ask the director's permission before you take her inside." So he said, "Where is the director's office?" So sir showed him the director's office. Sir proceeded to his department, to his cabin. And that was the end of it. So after 15-20 minutes, that boy and that girl, his wife, they came to sir's cabin, and that boy thanked sir, and he said, "Thank you, sir. I met the director, he gave permission, I showed her the campus, I'm on my way out, I just wanted to thank you." So out of courtesy, sir said, "Sit, why don't you sit?" And sir said, "I'm sorry, I know you studied here, but I don't remember your name and all. Your face looks familiar. What is your name? Where are you?" He says, "My name is Anmol Mehta." And this was very strange. So sir said, "Oh, okay, where are you now?" "Sir, I'm in Nigeria." Wow. So sir was very inquisitive. So he engaged him in a conversation. And then gradually sir asked him, saying, "Don't mind me asking this, but by any chance was there a strike in your workplace that you refused to take part in?" He said, "No. No, sir, nothing like that." So sir thought, okay, that was the end of it. He left it at that. Then his wife prodded him, it seems. You forgot, no, that incident happened, you forgot about it. He said, yes sir, something happened. Sir said, yes, what happened? So then he tells sir that the employees in his organization, the majority of them got together and decided that they will go and storm into the management, and tell, this is our condition. Pass this or we will not work. Anmol felt that their conditions were not right, not correct what they were asking for. He did not want to go with the majority. But he was scared that if he was with the minority, he might get singled out later. So he was really upset and wondering what he should do. So it seems he came back home and he told his wife saying, this is what is going on. Tomorrow they all want to go to the management. I'm not feeling like that's the right thing to do. So what he decided was, he just skipped work the next day. He took leave. That incident did happen. The majority went. So the following day when he went to office, nobody took offense of which side he was on, because you didn't know which side he was on. But at least his conscience was at rest, that he did the right thing and did not take part in what he felt was incorrect. He narrated this story to sir and said, why did you ask me this? And then sir asks him, do you remember your batchmate Siddhartha? He says, no. He says, no, he studied when you were in your batch. Now he's teaching in the English department. No, sir, I don't remember him. Okay. This is what happened. 15 days ago, he had a dream. And this is what happened in the dream. I believe when sir told him the dream, him and his wife just broke down crying. And he tells sir, I'm coming after 4 or 5 years. And obviously it's my first trip after Swami's Mahasamadhi. But what more proof do I need to know that Swami is watching over us every single moment? That he is, when you follow the dictates of your heart, that is where he is, and he is watching over you every single moment. I don't need to see him, but I just know that he is watching over me. Where is he? He's in Nigeria. Now you just take, when this whole thing happened and Anmol left Parthi that day. The subsequent day, sir told me about, you know what, I met Anmol Mehta yesterday. I said, what? He said, yes, he is in Nigeria, Africa, and it really happened to him. I just could not believe it. But think of it. First of all, what are the chances that I know what is happening in somebody's life in Africa? Accurately. And I shared this dream with one professor in the entire campus. On a holiday, he is coming to college, and he is the only teacher whom that boy crosses. Right? What are the chances of all of this? And that too, 15 days after I had the dream, this guy travels from Nigeria to Puttaparthi and meets just that one teacher. So it's, and if Anmol had met me, I would have probably blurted it out to him without getting the information out of him. It happened to, the message went to Anmol through somebody else. There was a message for Anmol, there was a message for sir, there was a message for me, and I think that is the message that I want to share with all of you. He is definitely watching over every single thing that we are doing. How else can you explain? It's not a coincidence. It cannot be, so many coincidences cannot happen.
Yeah, these are called coincidences. These are not coincidences.
And that's why I said, when Swami told in his discourses, I'm above you, below you, beside you, around you, he took it very seriously. Whether we took it seriously or we take it seriously or not, he is definitely watching over each and every one of us.
There's another wonderful incident which I heard from the person involved. This happened at Swami's 89th birthday. It's the year before last, 2014, November 23rd morning. There was a nice function in the Kulwant Hall. The governor of Karnataka had come for the function. He gave a nice talk. So the warden of the Brindavan campus was sitting there, and he was enjoying the morning function, the songs and everything. But then there was one lingering thought in the mind. He said, yeah, nice speech by the governor, very inspiring, nice songs, everything is nice. But where is the birthday boy? Sir was just pining for Swami, thinking of Swami. Everything is very grand and nice, but we are missing that form. So where is the birthday boy? But anyway, this thought left his mind, and the morning function got over, and they distributed prasadam. So they gave him a sweet, and sir had just stopped eating sweets a few days before that. So he took the prasadam and he looked around to see whom he could give after the Arati was over. And he saw one student who was studying in Vrindavan, who sir knew loved sweets. So he said, I found the right person to give. I am not eating, he would love a second sweet. Hey, come here, and he gives him the sweet. He says, thank you, sir. And then he leaves. And the warden leaves, and the warden had to go to the university because a new vice chancellor was taking over. So there was a function to preside over. So he attended that function, and then he had other things. He went for his lunch and came back to the old hostel in the evening. When he came back, a couple of boys came running to the warden and said, "Sir, this boy, one boy, X, said he's been coming looking for you desperately throughout the day." So warden said, "I was busy in something. What is the matter? If you find him, let him know that I am back." So they go and tell him, and warden is sitting in his room, and this boy comes running and tells warden, "Sir, from morning I've been trying to tell you this desperately. You gave me the sweet and you left. Yes, sir, I agree, I have a weakness for sweets, you're right. But motichur laddu is the one sweet which I don't like." Actually, that is the prasadam which was given on that day. He said, "So in fact, sir, actually, I was looking around a little guilty. Whom else I could palm it off to, give the sweet to." So as he was waiting with 2 sweets in his hand, there was this pillar where the Vedam boys sit. So just that pillar, and this boy was standing between the pillar and him. One old man was there who had somehow crossed all the lines, barriers, and come to where the students sit. And the old man said, "I didn't get prasadam. Can you get prasadam for me?" He asked this boy. And he's standing with the second motichur laddu in his hand. He immediately gives it, "Here, sir, please take it." And the old man is very happy. He's beaming with joy and saying that, I asked and immediately I get a prasadam. That is not the thing. The boy was in utter shock. The student, he's telling the warden, "Sir, he takes the sweet from my hand and he disappeared in front of my eyes, sir." He says, in Kulwant Hall, in between the pillar and this student, that man disappeared in front of his eyes. He says, "Sir, I was stunned. I didn't know whom else to tell. I knew you were the only one who can understand. So I came back to tell you." This is, as Amey was saying, no, Swami has not gone anywhere. Wherever we pine for him, wherever we pray to him, he is going to present himself there. Not only has Swami in this incident told the young student that I am very much here. He has also answered the warden's prayers. Warden was pining and saying, "Where is the birthday boy?" And he said, Swami says, "The birthday boy has not gone anywhere. The birthday boy is still here." This is another wonderful lesson that, wonderful incident that warden had told.
And we'll just wrap it up with just one more incident which comes to my mind. It's a beautiful incident that happened in 2013, in fact. There was this one lady who had come from Kerala, from a very poor family, and she had come to Prasanthi Nilayam to actually do seva, and this was against her family's wishes, in fact, because her husband was not keeping well. But she, in fact, for that very reason, she wanted to come to Prasanthi Nilayam to kind of seek Swami's intervention, into her husband's, for her husband's good health. And she was working in the South Indian canteen. She's making laddus and, rolling chapatis, etc. And extremely poor. The only piece of gold that is there on her body is her Mangal Sutra. And one day, after she finishes, she cleans up everything and she goes back to her to the quarters where the Sevadal stay, and to her utter horror, that Mangal Sutra is missing. You can imagine in Prasanthi Nilayam, with all that crowd doing seva, and the only piece of gold, and that too Mangalyam, how important it would have been, and she was absolutely devastated, crestfallen. Means several things hit her, because how do I go back home? And what a, kind of a bad omen, apshakun, to happen, that, oh my God, I've lost my Mangalyam. And so she started crying, and, she went to several people. Obviously, they searched the whole place upside down, not to be found. And she simply went to Kulwant Hall the next day morning, and she said, "Swami, I am not going from Prasanthi Nilayam till you do something. I cannot go back. What do I face my relatives? What do I tell them?" And obviously nothing happened. A week passed, 10 days passed, her seva is over, and everybody else left, and she said, "Swami, I am not leaving." And she continued to stay, and the head of the group of sevadals, she was telling her, "What are you going to do? There's nothing you can do. We will try to help you out. You don't worry, but you need to go back. Your relatives will be waiting for you. You're off for 15 days. She says, "No, I am going to wait till my Swami gives me." 15 days pass. She's sitting in the bhajan hall, The bhajan is over. She's standing in that line to move towards, where the cosmic form of our beloved Lord is, the Samadhi, the Sannidhi. And as she is walking towards, a little girl, walks up to her and says, Amma, you didn't get laddu, no? Take this laddu. Puts the laddu in her hand, she opens that packet, and in that laddu is her Mangal Sutra. We have seen that lady, and we have documented this story also. And she just looks at that, and now just imagine what her joy is, because not only is her Mangal Sutra found, now this Mangal Sutra is blessed because it has been given back by Bhagwan. If any one of us would have found it, it was a lost and found case. Here it was a gift by Bhagwan. And needless to say, when she went back home, her husband is absolutely hale and hearty. What will you say about that? Right? That is our Bhagwan, that is our Swami. The only thing that we need to do is to call out to him within. How many ever, there will be lots and lots of distractions around us. There will be lots and lots of people that we would like to hold on to, thinking that maybe this person, will convey something to me, that thing will do, this vibhuti. No, the only source is to chalo man jaye ghar apne, because that is our only true source. Let us hold on to that. And once we chant his name, all we need to do is to call out to him, right? So with that, those feelings in our mind, we thank you all for your patient listening. When we just end with this beautiful song, and we also take this opportunity to thank Bhagwan that on such an, I would say, and also grateful to you all of us are so grateful to you all that on a Sunday, when I'm sure each one of you would have liked to probably, spend the whole day home taking some rest, you all have come all the way from your respective places. Yes, madam, we'll just finish this, and then we will see what they have in store for us. Sure. All that we've been doing actually is bhajans. We've been singing the name of the Lord. We've been chanting His glory. We'll just end with this,
yes,
and then
we will with this one song which conveys, which actually conveys, like Amey was saying, that if we take the name of the Lord, we have His protective hand over our head. So let us pray to the Lord. You can sing along with us, actually, this song also.
जिसके सर पर हाथ हो तेरा, कौन बिगाड़े उसकी, हर पल उसके साथ है बाबा, हर पल रक्षा उसकी। ओम साई जय साई, श्री साई जय साई, ओम साई जय साई, श्री साई जय साई, साई राम साई राम, साई राम साई राम, साई नाम सुमिरन जो भी करे, यही नाम सब दुख दूर करे। साई नाम सुमिरन जो भी करे, यही नाम सब दुख दूर करे। भव सागर से पार उतारे, जन्म जन्म के पाप हरे, यही नाम सब दुख दूर करे। साई राम साई राम, साई राम साई राम। कोई मनोरथ मन में बसाए, तुम्हारी शरण जो आए, इन चरणों में मन चाहा फल बिन मांगे मिल जाए। साई बिगड़ी बात सवारे, साई बिगड़ी बात सवारे, साई बिगड़ी बात संवारे, सुख संपत्ति भंडार भरे, यही नाम सब दुख दूर करे। साई राम साई राम साई राम साई राम। परती तीरथ धाम हमारा, हम साई के पुजारी। साई बाबा इस धरती पर शिव शक्ति अवतारी। जब हो सर पे साया तुम्हारा, जब हो सर पे साया तुम्हारा, जब हो सर पे साया तुम्हारा, कौन किसी विपदा से डरे, यही नाम सब दुख दूर करे। साई राम साई राम साई राम साई राम। साई गंगा साई जमुना साई मथुरा काशी, साई तो है घट घट वासी अजर अमर अविनाशी। साई नाम ब्रह्मा साई नाम विष्णु, साई नाम शिव शंकर। ओम साई जय साई श्री साई जय साई, ओम साई जय साई श्री साई जय साई, ओम साई जय साई श्री साई जय साई, ओम साई जय साई साई राम 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 साई राम। शांति शांति शांति। जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय। थैंक यू। जय साई राम।
ओम जय जगदीश हरे, स्वामी सत्य साई हरे। भक्त जना संरक्षक, भक्त जना संरक्षक, पति महेश्वरा। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। शशि मगना श्रीकरा, सर्वा प्राणपते, स्वामी सर्वा प्राणपते। आश्रित कल्पलतिका, आश्रित कल्पलतिका। जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय।
ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वप्रचोदयात्। 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 ॐ